What's up, Internet? We finally saw the Snyder Cut, and we have some non-spoiler thoughts on it. Spoiler review will be coming later, but my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarisse.
We get nerdy nightly.
And we thought we'd share it with you.
Yeah, we do. It's here. It's long. It is 4 hours and 2 minutes long, but is it worth watching?
Well, that is a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I feel like I would have to give you a survey to know if it was actually worth watching for you. How much time do you actually want to spend watching a movie?
Is it a movie? Let's start at the basic question. Is it a movie? Because I'm not sure that it is.
Okay, why?
I'm gonna be very honest up front. I really liked this.
Okay.
I enjoyed watching this. I am disappointed in some decisions that it makes, as far that are separate from the film itself.
Okay.
Mostly around the fact that it is so adult that the Justice League is no longer for the person I was when I fell in love with the Justice League. And as a 28-year-old man, this movie was very much for me. And I enjoyed it a lot on that level. However, when I think about the fact that I couldn't show this to my nieces and nephews, that I couldn't share the Justice League with my nieces and nephews, I am disappointed. It is so adult and violent and bloody and crass.
Yeah.
And I don't think it needs to be any of those things. And so I have to be honest about that up front, because I did find it to be a bit much. Having said that, it's beautiful.
Yes.
The acting is superb. The individual scenes are mostly very, very good. But as a whole movie, I don't think it's a movie. Because it has no pacing. It has no follow-through. Plot lines come and go, kind of at random.
Yep.
Characters come and go, kind of at random.
Yep.
Some things that happen again for no apparent reason. Everything that happens has two scenes that justify it happening instead of one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very hand-holdy.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways that are completely unnecessary. In a way that, if this movie was for kids, might actually work. But the idea that it's weird, right? Because on one hand, it feels like it is a bit pandery and it is kid-friendly in that sense. And then you're right. It's so bloody. It's so nihilistic. Yeah. Like when creatures are killed, blood literally fountains out of them, and you're like,
oh, some of the blood spatter in this movie is so aggressive. There's also a blood splatter it splatters onto the camera, which is an interesting visual trick. But then the camera angle changes, and the blood splatter changes, and the blood splatter's still on the camera at the other angle, but it's the same splatter. And for a moment I was like, what just happened?
Wait a second. What?
It's tough, right? I liked the majority of it. It just doesn't, it's so poorly paced.
Yeah, it's not cohesive, and I see why you're asking if it's a movie.
Because we heard reports that Zack Snyder wanted to put out this in installments, like a television series almost, or like a mini series. And I watching it, I was like, oh, I understand, right? Because if you broke it down into episodes, some of the ideas that resurface would have been the same idea from the first episode, but in the second episode. And in doing it in that way, it would have felt more intentional. But in a movie, in a single viewing experience, without credits to break it up or climaxes to break up what's happening, the plotting of the film just kind of felt sloppy.
Yeah. And I know you said, as a show, maybe it could have worked because it's divided into parts within the movie.
Yeah, there are 6 chapters.
Within the movie. But if you showed me part 1, I would not come back for part 2. If you actually wanted to put this out as a series, you would have to do it differently. There was nothing in part 1, other than the pretty visuals, that would make me even bother coming back next week for part 2.
Well, and it's tough, right? Because part 1 through 3 is not great.
No, it's
part
boring
4 through 6 is
slow.
Amazing, right? And that's kind of what's weird about the film is that there is so much setup in this movie because they had to set up all of these characters that you're literally there was a point where I was like, oh, this is a flashback. And it was because we were in the like 4th flashback in a row, and I just was like waiting for the movie to catch up to modern times.
We were 2 hours in and they were still introducing characters.
Cyborg's first line is 47 minutes into the movie.
Right, yeah.
The first time Cyborg speaks is 47 minutes into the movie. And, you know, I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but Cyborg is... Wow. Joss Whedon, what did you do to this character? Cyborg is one of the better parts of the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's one of the few people who has, like, really emotional beats in the movie.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder does the Flash dirty. I'm sorry, but Zack Snyder does the Flash dirty. And the mythology of the Flash is done dirty in this film.
Yeah.
All of those news stories about Kiersey Clemons as Iris West and her getting cut out of the movie or being in the movie, they don't matter.
They
Kiersey
literally
Clemons
doesn't matter at all.
I don't know if she spoke. I'm not sure that she had lines. She is in the movie in such an insignificant way. The only thing that they set up is that Iris West doesn't know Barry Allen. That's not a spoiler for the movie. It's not early because this movie's so long, but
no, but it's such a throwaway.
This movie does the character of Barry Allen so dirty that I feel like the Wally West stands of the Flash team like paid off Zack Snyder in order to like just literally take a crap on the legacy of Barry Allen. And that introduction of Barry Allen is the worst part of the whole film. I'm sorry. If you're a fan of The Flash, you get some really cool Flash powers later in the movie, but you don't get a cool Flash in this movie. And I was mad. I was mad. Because it's a beautiful use of his powers, but the character...
The character had nothing. And the movie was already so crammed full of crap. It's like you couldn't fit any more in there.
You're bringing back Cramful? Is Cramful going to be...
crammed full.
So Cramful is like is going to be a thing on this channel. I love it.
I said...
Hashtag Cramful, yo.
Oh my god. Anyways, here's the thing. People are going to be very upset with me for saying this, but DC is trying to do what Marvel does, and they're doing it very poorly. Marvel has big epic movies with a lot of characters that we're already familiar with because they already have their own stories and movies that we've been following along. With Justice League, basically DC tried to make Endgame without the 35 movies that came before it, and it doesn't work. They have to fit so much into this movie that it's really hard to watch.
Do you know what the problem is?
I'm exhausted after watching it.
If I had to compare this to a Marvel movie, though, it wouldn't be Endgame. It would be Age of Ultron.
Yeah, okay.
And
that's fair. It's
better than Age of Ultron. It is a better film than Age of Ultron. But we got to the end of this movie, and Ultron and Steppenwolf are so similar. Yeah. They're both like big moving metal enemies that are just slightly more powerful than the team, that both have like serious daddy issues. And this movie went out of its way to let us know that Steppenwolf had daddy issues. Oh boy, did it ever.
Yeah.
And he's a more threatening villain, but his when the movie is alone with Steppenwolf and whatever he's talking to, that character is fine. It's fine. But like the end of this movie with the parademons and the Ultron babies and then like the Ultron and the Steppenwolf of it all, I was kind of like, this movie, like the end of this movie is very much Age of Ultron. Yeah. We have to, someone has to go, in Ultron we have to protect the button, and in this it's like we have to let Cyborg press the button. But I had flashbacks to Age of Ultron, and I was like, this isn't the comparison I wish I was making right now.
Nope.
Even though it looks better, it's shot better, it's 100% better, it's just, it is...
To give the movie
a little similar
credit where it is due, a lot of the stuff looks really cool.
It's unbelievable. The visuals are unbelievable.
Yeah, even on our not so great TV.
Yeah.
You know, I wish we'd been able to see it in a theater, but you can really you can really appreciate the visuals and the spectacle of it all. Which like I gotta give him credit.
Unbelievable.
Like really, really well done. Like 99% of things looked amazing. There were a couple things where you're like,
but there were individual shots where the CGI didn't look amazing.
Exactly.
But in a 4-hour movie, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah, for sure. But here's the
Very
thing,
impressive.
like we talked about Steppenwolf's armor, and like it's too much.
When he and Cyborg are on screen together at the same time, it's so much glittering, moving silver.
Yeah, it's all like.
Yeah. Okay, this has been 10 minutes. Let's wrap this up. Do you think this is a movie? I think that this is an experimental art film.
Okay.
And it is a very big one. And it's a very good one.
Okay.
But it is an experiment that I do not want to see replicated.
Yeah, here's the thing. My thought on it is that, this movie would never have made it to theaters if there wasn't the whole history behind it.
Oh, no. If you're one of those people who's like, this is Zack Snyder's original vision,
absolutely
it's
not.
not.
It's absolutely not, and I will fight you on that till my dying breath. There is no way this ever would have been the original vision. It never would have made it to theaters like this.
No.
And that's the biggest problem with this movie, is that they gave it to Zack Snyder to run away with. No one was holding him accountable. You know, no one was producing the movie. It kind of felt like they're just like, yeah, do a thing. It's like with Annihilation, when they just like kind of like let them kind of do a thing, and everyone watching is like, this doesn't work.
Annihilation?
Yeah, that movie Annihilation with
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, because that duo. No, that duo. They like. There was a lot of great stuff that, and I feel like the producers of that movie kind of just trusted it to the team to let it go.
That movie got really great reviews. I never saw it, but
you didn't see? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Annihilation is not a good movie.
All right, that's not what we're here to talk about.
No.
We're here to talk about Justice League.
Anyways, that's my biggest problem with it, is that it felt like no one was holding Zack Snyder accountable, and he could just do whatever he wanted, and it was off its own butt.
If this had come out in theaters, it would have been a massive flop. It would have been a massive flop. No kids, no families. It's too adult, right? It's too long. You would have had fewer screenings. This would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
And I deep down in my heart believe that Zack Snyder is smart enough to know that, and this was not his original theatrical vision. It can't have been. He is too talented and too smart a filmmaker to think that this would have worked on screen, right? So this isn't the original Snyder Cut. This is, HBO Max said, make something for streaming. And Zack Snyder pivoted his vision into a streaming version. And I think that this is the only place that this works. And it does kind of work. I enjoyed watching it. I will never sit down and watch this from beginning to end again. It's too long, and the beginning is too boring.
Yeah.
But
if you want to do a 4-hour movie, right? Lord of the Rings. Other than, like, I have no problem sitting down for a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, but that also wouldn't have worked in theaters. The extended edition only works because we already know the story. And
Sure.
Like, the extended edition would not have won Best Picture at the Academy Awards.
Sure. I'm just saying that I have no problem sitting down for a good 4-hour film like The Lord of the Rings. This was too long. This was 4 hours that I feel like I'm never going to get back.
I would watch this again. I just would... There's so much I would skip.
Yeah.
Barry Allen's introduction scene, hard skip. All the instructions. You know what? Honestly, I would skip chapters 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, just watch 3.
I would watch 4 through 6.
4, 5, and 6.
And
then don't bother with the epilogue, because it's
come if you want to hear about the epilogue, come watch our spoiler review. We're gonna put that up, or spoiler chat. We're gonna put that up next. That'll also probably go up today. But for now, I recommend watching this. I do recommend watching this as an experiment in what film can be if money is
unlimited.
Thought about.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's kind of what this is, right? Like, what if you give a singular vision as many resources as it wants?
And no, like, reins on the horses.
And there's no like, there's no way to make the money back. Because there isn't, right? Like HBO Max won't make enough money on this, I don't think, to pay for what it is.
I doubt it.
And the original Justice League or the Snyder or the Joss Whedon cut made a little bit of money back in the day. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
maybe this is worth $70 million.
I don't know if I can, in good conscience, recommend you watching this movie unless you have a lot of free time on your hands.
Or unless you were already into it. Like if you like Batman v Superman, you probably will like this a lot.
Yep.
I didn't like Batman v Superman. I didn't really even like the Ultimate Edition, but I really enjoyed watching this. I thought it was almost as good as Man of Steel. It would still be number 6 on my list, though.
Okay.
It's impressive. It's amazing at times. It's just
sure. I would put it.
It just does Barry Allen so dirty.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I would put it 7th, I think.
You'd put this below Wonder Woman 1984?
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. Come follow us over on Twitch where we play video games. I'm currently doing the Nerdy Lock. You know what that is, all 35 Pokemon games in 1 year. Hardcore Nuzlocke rules. We're going to beat green, y'all. This is the run. Run 3 on green. This is the run. What are you up to, Clarice?
I am doing Skyrim Saturdays as usual. I've also started a playthrough of The Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
So come hang out. No spoilers, because I've never made it through the game before, but it's going to be a good time.
And as always, my name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarice.
Do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye.